Hello and welcome to the 2017 GSAC Mystery Tournament. I am Ben, aka Metalcore. Join with me today, casting none other than Chan. How you doing, Chan?
I'm doing very well. Looking forward to this match today, Ben.
Oh, I am looking forward to it as well. We have a riveting match between our first person who's actually played a match before, Andrew Z, otherwise known as DDRChamp. He will be versing Wesley, otherwise known as Pifaceguy. Just a quick overview in this game, or in this tournament, I should say. The players have no idea what game to expect, what game they're going to be playing until the very last minute, and then they are off. So, without further ado, can I get a final ready checks?
Ready.
Ready.
All right. You guys can begin in 3, 2, 1, go! All right, Chan. We are in.
All right, I'm really looking forward to this. This looks like it's going to be a very interesting game. I did do a quick wiki search about this game, Ben. Once I saw that the game was called Quackshot, I thought to myself, I have to look at this up. And at the time of the release, the game was universally lauded for its graphics, with magazines like Sega Pro describing them as some of the best graphics around. Which in all honesty, I'm not surprised because it's Disney related, so they're pretty much the best when it comes to animation. Not too familiar with the lore of Donald Duck, but I am excited to learn more through this gameplay.
Oh yeah, same. So I played tested this game. This is a really phenomenal action platformer. And one of the things I like about it the most is you don't have to go necessarily like level 1, level 2, level 3. You can kind of go like level 2, level 1, level 3.
Very cool. Yeah.
I really enjoyed that aspect of it. But yeah, we see both of our players starting on level 1.
It seems like they've both
level 3.
yeah, they've both seemed to gotten the hand of how to neutralize the opponents. I personally would have been thrown off by the fact that the opponents don't really disappear. They just seem to kind of twitch there for a little bit while there's a plunger in their face.
Yeah.
I feel like back in the day when these games were most popular, it would be if your character was in contact with the enemy, you would get hurt. But it seems once they get plunged, they are completely neutralized. So both players seem to be progressing and learning the controls pretty swiftly in this round.
And we see actually DDRChamp already getting to the end, or getting to a checkpoint in level 1. You can't advance from this position. You actually have to call in the airplane and go to level 2, and then get an upgraded plunger and come back to level 1. So there is a amount of backtracking in this game, which is kind of cool. So we'll see how quickly he picks up on that.
Is the backtracking something that's hinted at through the dialogue, or is it something that the player kind of has to figure out for him or herself?
It is more or less hinted, but when you're speedrunning, it is sort of, you don't want to, sort of feel like you're, you don't want to miss something, and you want to finish a level. You don't want to sort of half finish and then have to come back. So both of these players right now looking for a way to finish the first level before moving to a different one.
Can I just note that it seems very dangerous that Donald Duck's 3 young companions are the ones that are actually flying the plane? I'm pretty sure they are children. Not sure how responsible Donald Duck is for allowing them to, drive that plane from Ducksburg to Transylvania, but I am not one to question one's parenting methods.
And actually, he's going pretty far back in this level 1. He needs to call in that airplane, leave this place. He's done what he needs to do.
Yeah, it seems like Andrew has officially progressed to a completely new environment.
Yep. He's gone right for level 3, which is Dracula's Castle. The goal for these speedrunners, by the way, is to destroy the wall inside of Dracula's Castle. And the reason why that's the goal is because you have to beat all of level 1 and level 2 to destroy the wall. So even though Andrew's on level 3 right now, he's not going to be able to finish until he goes back.
Okay. We'll see if that's something that he can figure out right away.
Fortunately, there's a checkpoint right before the wall, so he can fly back from there. He doesn't really lose much time going with this path rather than, going to level 2, for instance.
It seems like Wesley is just ducking multiple times in frustration.
Yeah, he needs to call in that airplane.
He does, yeah.
He must think there's some sort of power-up in the level somewhere that he says to.
Or some sort of hidden entryway somewhere.
Hopefully he figures it out. I would hate to see him sort of get stuck on this.
Absolutely. Though admittedly it is a very nice environment.
Yeah. Although when you come back, so basically what the players have to do is go to level 2. Defeat all of level 2, you get a upgrade to your plunger where you can shoot it on a wall and then sort of jump on top of the plunger so you can jump even higher. But then you come back to level 1 to get the next upgrade. And so the second half of level 1 is actually pretty tricky, and I got stuck on it. And it made me angry. Really angry.
We'll see if either of our players get very, very angry at this game. Alright, it seems like Andrew has called back the plane.
Yep, he got to the checkpoint in Dracula's level, so he's a full checkpoint ahead of Pifaceguy here.
Those are very terrifying cactus creatures. Oh my goodness. The explosions are real.
Come on, Wes. Call the airplane. Call that airplane. He's looking right at it.
I had to think, I am fortunate I've known Wesley for many, many years now, and I know that he's a video game player who doesn't limit himself to usually one type of game. So if I were to assume what was in Wesley's head right now, he's probably rattling through many different game progression methods in his head, trying to figure out which one fits to this particular game. I don't think there's any game that he's played where calling in an airplane is the next step of progression.
Yeah.
So I think that may be an obstacle.
And I know DDRChamp for a number of years, and I actually found out after his last race, I was curious to know why he did so well. And apparently he's played a lot of games on Congregate. I don't know if you know the site.
Oh, yeah,
it's just
I
a
do,
bunch of like mini games and stuff. But sort of old 2D platformers
school,
like this
yeah.
stuff. So he has lots of experience in this genre, which could give him the edge. Ah, Wes, you're going the wrong way, buddy.
He's definitely exhausting the course of all of its items, and it seems like all the enemies do respawn, so we'll see how long it takes for him to figure it out. There seems to be a little bit of a pattern in this tournament so far that sometimes one particular player gets stuck in a certain level or can't figure out a certain mechanic. And once they figure it out, unfortunately, it seems like it's been too late for them to catch up. So hopefully Wesley can turn that theme around. There
are some difficult parts later in this speed run, so DDRChamp can definitely get stuck as well. It's not over for sure, but Wes needs to call in this airplane. Oh, you can't communicate. He has to be by the checkpoint in order to use it.
Alright, well, he seems to be booking it, so hopefully he is going right towards the flag checkpoint. The graphics for the enemy neutralization still really gets me. Just the vibrating back and forth.
It's like they couldn't afford to have a death animation, so they just were like, well, he's just going to stand where he is
Let's just move the sprite back and forth over and over and over again. Alright, so Wesley has officially gotten a game over, so he's going to continue blank slate.
Oh, he has a chance. Nope. He's going back to Duckburg.
He contemplated it for a little bit. Alright, it seems like Andrew's progressing smoothly forward.
He's still at the first checkpoint, or like getting to the first checkpoint in level 2. There's two like halves, like the checkpoints right in the middle of each level. So once he gets it, he'll be halfway through, and once he finishes, he'll have to go back to stage 1.
Okay. So it seems like the jumping mechanic is pretty vital in this game in terms of moving platforms, ramps, progressing over boxes, and dodging the enemy that kind of drops. What think is beehives on your head. So
Yep.
Ben, when playing this game, was the jumping mechanic something that was easy to maneuver, or was it kind of a janky control for you?
I didn't think it was too bad. I thought it acted pretty much how I thought it would. Which is good. And by the way, Wes has gotten to stage 2 here, which is good.
Excellent.
And Angie's gone the wrong way, so this is actually kind of good for...
This could be a change in the theme of the tournament.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought the platforming is actually pretty accurate to how I thought it would work, the physics, anyway. There is something later in the game that I thought was really challenging, which is in the second half of this level, there's some like crouching sections where you have to kind of like duck under a space and then jump, and he sort of like what's the right word, he kind of just dives in there, and but it kind of acts like he's on ice or something, you know, the way he moves, which is kind of weird. We have Andrew went back to level 2, which is the correct path. And he's gonna have to get through the second half. This half's actually pretty difficult. So
you're seeing a lot of new game mechanics that weren't present in the first stage, as well as the outdoor area of what I think the level is called Mexico.
Yeah. And yeah, they actually introduced a mechanic here where there's these enemies that sort of move up and down, and when you throw your plunger on them, they stop moving, and you can jump on them without taking damage. But if you jump on them any other way,
you'll take damage.
Yeah.
I think Andrew just experienced that, so let's see if he kind of learned that lesson, or if he's just going to try the same tactic over again. Wesley is slowly but surely catching up. He's doing very, very well, making good time.
He's pretty low on life here, but hopefully he can get to the checkpoint before he dies. Oh, we got some corn.
Use the power of the plunger. Believe in the plunger.
Yeah, but the platforming here on Andrew's screen, hitting these guys is a little difficult. You have to jump and then do it. So it can be tricky.
Oh.
So we'll see if Wes decides to go in. No, he's not. He's gonna call the airplane, go somewhere else. He could go to level 3, get the checkpoint a while. I mean, he's got to do it eventually. So wouldn't be too much of an issue, but he's got to have to go back to level 2 to finish it before moving on.
So Andrew seems to be maneuvering through each of these small blocks pretty well. He seems to have figured out the block mechanic.
Here's the crouching mechanic, which I really hated. By the way, Andrew's playing with keyboard, whereas Wes is playing with gamepad. So Andrew has to find the crouch button wherever he bound it to. Might be more difficult than we think.
Do you see using keyboard for this particular game being advantageous, in your opinion?
I think gamepad would be better. I told Andrew that gamepad would be better, but he preferred keyboard. And there's nothing wrong with keyboard. You can do it fine, as we're seeing with him. But I do think it's a little bit harder. But then again, he's played Congregate games, all which use keyboard, so he's used to it.
So Wesley is entering Dracula's castle now.
He's found that wall, which is the final obstacle, but he can't break it yet.
All right, he seems to know that he has to do something in addition to this. All right, and it seems Andrew is trying to get through pausing these blocks at the correct location.
It's
difficult. I can definitely see this being a very frustrating task.
Now, another thing is, this level that Andrew's on, you have to go through the whole thing, and then you actually have to go through the whole thing backwards before getting the checkpoint. So it's a very difficult level, and he's only at 3 health right now, and these crouching sections are just brutal. So.
Oh goodness. Yeah, that block in the middle of those crouching sections does not help whatsoever.
No. Looks like Wes should be able to get in if he uses the key. Yep.
Excellent.
So he's going the right way. We have a match, ladies and gentlemen.
Good. I have to wonder what is motivating Donald Duck to go through all of this havoc.
He's finding treasure.
He's using a lot of his plunger resources. I don't know how much he has left, or where he is keeping them.
Somehow, another like weapon in this game is corn, and I don't know how that works or how that makes any sense.
Do ducks eat corn? Is that a dumb question? I'm not one to feed ducks very often.
I don't know. They must find a value in some respect.
Well, maybe not so valuable if it's something he's using as a weapon. Obviously, Donald does not care for plungers, and that's why he just doesn't care about throwing literally hundreds of them to random blocky foes.
Let's see if Wes gets this plunger platforming thing down. I think he's figured it out. But yeah, so Andrew's pretty close. Oh no, he just died. Never mind. He's back. He's back. Wes is actually in the lead right now. So
yeah, and
on
I
him
think
for catching up.
Yeah, and I think that Wes kind of, in my opinion, picked up the block mechanism a little bit faster than Andrew had, and he seems to be executing it slightly better. Rather than jumping and throwing, he's trying to figure out the best place to stand still and do it. However, in this particular scenario, let's see if he's able to make the jump, and he is. Perfect.
And I think again, I think Andrew's playing this a little bit more risky. I think Wes is taking his time a lot more, and with a really long level like this, which has no checkpoints, that's gonna favor him.
Yeah, I know. Myself and other GSAC competitor Andrew had a discussion about this tournament.
Mr. Bojangles.
Yes, Mr. Bojangles. We had a discussion about this, talking about the pros and cons of taking risks in your particular game for your round. In my particular game, it was very advantageous because the checkpoints were very forgiving in the Slime World adventures that I had.
Yep.
And so because I think I took slightly more risk and also died slightly faster than my competitor did, I was able to pick up on the mechanics and progress further and faster. Therefore, I won just by a little bit. But it seems in this scenario, as you said, being a little bit risky in a place that doesn't really have checkpoints will work against you because you have to start all the way from the beginning, which is very frustrating.
Yep. Although it does look like Wes is going to die here. I don't see him getting to the end of this level and then having to go all the way back onto life. You have to be really careful, which is something that both of these players learn. You can see Andrew, this is his like third time through. He's only lost 1 health so far.
So Ben, how long did it take you to get through this particular stage?
I'd say 15 minutes. I mean, it's one of the harder stages. I'd say the stage right after this is also very difficult. But this is probably the hardest one. And then the rest of the levels aren't too bad, honestly.
I'm sure they will put out a big sigh of relief once they are both done with this particular stage. Alright, and Wesley restarts.
Yeah, there's no, like, the platforming on this level is, like, particularly hard, and it's not as bad on the other ones, so. It's more just killing enemies before they kill you, you know, the sort of the next level, which makes it hard.
The Aztecs really wanted to protect their treasure.
It does seem kind of weird that somehow, you know, Mayan culture and like the mafia and Dracula are all somehow related, you know, to Donald Duck.
In the universe of Donald Duck, hey, anything can happen.
Actually, at the end of this level, when you get the power up, Goofy gives you the power up, and so I think that's going to be a big highlight in this whole stream.
Now, is it a change of color on your plunger, or do you get an accessory for your plunger, like a feather that goes around the pole or something?
It's a change of color. It goes back to red.
I feel like red is a downgrade. I feel like the golden plunger is quite a highlight in the plunger kingdom.
Well, apparently not the Donald Duck.
I enjoy how in certain animation splits it seems like his sprite winks. Though I'm not sure if it's a wink. I think it's more of a wince for him, but it's an enjoyable little detail that the game developers added in.
Yeah, I have no idea if... Like, I think this is DuckTales based, but I don't know if he's... how much of a different character he is compared to, like, just normal Daffy Duck. Like, he might have this, like, huge backstory, you know, for all I know. But I don't know.
It's just like I'm blown away with all those Disney film theories. I'm sure there's a lot backing this game. I'm sure there's internet, so if somebody can think of it, it's out there.
Andrew here is on the sort of final jump before getting to Goofy. I think there's a few enemies in the way, but
But he's at 4 health, so that's, I think, better than he's had.
Although I don't know if it's going to be enough. I think they're both gonna, when they realize they have to do the whole level backwards, you know, it's gonna irritate him a little bit. And Andrew is through. He can't die from this fire, but he's gonna meet Goofy and then get oh so wrecked on the way down. And another thing, how is Goofy here? Where did he come from?
You know, Goofy is quite the acrobat. He is very, very good in his understanding of Aztec architecture. So clearly he was able to maneuver quite swiftly and elegantly through all of these blocks. He himself does not have plungers, but I'm sure he has his own tools. It seems like Andrew's figured out a mechanic with the plungers and standing on top of them, using them as platforms. That's a very fun mechanic.
And Wes actually just got to Goofy as well. So a very tight race here.
They are both at 2 health, so let's see. I don't want to be pessimistic, but let's see who dies first.
And, you know, going forward in this race, I have to kind of favor Wes just because he's caught up so much from such a bad start.
Absolutely. Andrew definitely has a fierce competitor. Though he himself has been doing very, very well.
Oh, Wes took a... Oh, I didn't realize Goofy was a checkpoint. So it looks like you die. Like when you die on the way back, you start at Goofy. I did not know that.
So in that case, it may be that Wesley's a little bit ahead because now he's got higher health. So we'll see if Andrew's able to make it through without getting hits.
He's pretty close. He has just a little bit more of this level here.
He just has to keep sliding.
Yep.
Beak low to the floor.
Oh, there's one. Yeah, if he can get through here without going back to Goofy, he'll be in the lead for sure. But if he dies, I think Wes is gonna make it back no problem. This is nail biting.
Made even more dramatic by all the sliding.
Yeah, I think this is the only level that requires that sliding. Thankfully. Oh no! And it's game over too. I don't know if that matters.
If it's a complete restart or if it's a checkpoint restart.
Oh no! Where's he starting?
Let's see.
Oh god, he has to do the whole thing again.
Oh goodness.
Well, I think Wes has a pretty big advantage here.
He does.
That's so unfortunate. I think the game overs, like, if you see, like, the little Donald Duck faces bar. So it's, like, every 5 deaths. And I think, you know, just... he wouldn't have taken any more deaths getting there, you know? So we'll see where Wes goes here. He has to go back to level 1. And then climb up that wall, and that's where he is going.
Could this game be at the forefront of putting mental health as an important issue by having a bar that's specifically labeled as temper?
I would say so. Wes also has, what is that, 47,500 points.
And Andrew is back to 0. He has 500 now.
I don't think that matters at all, but... You know. If what
I remember
whoever wins, the other person could say, "Well, I had more points,"
I remember in my particular gameplay, I kept collecting these crystals, which I remember having the thought, these probably don't mean anything. They're probably just giving you more points. But hey, the more points, my screen looks better. So we're just gonna keep going with it. So.
So Wes actually got through the plunger jumping section pretty easily, which is pretty impressive. It took me a little bit to get that sort of skill down.
Wesley's using the crouch slide to progress through a little bit faster.
Oh yeah, I guess I didn't think about that.
Every second counts. Every second counts. So the actual audition from the speakers hurts you, it seems like.
Yeah. I don't know why they're there either, just on the outside of buildings. Tons of speakers.
It could be a timely thing with nuclear alarms going off. Not to get too morbid, but who knows?
I think if you go down here, you actually die. He has to jump up the building.
Oh, goodness.
You found that out the hard way, like me.
So I actually think the number under the text Donald is how many lives that are left.
Oh, really?
Because I think it just went from 2 to 1 on Wesley's, and I think Andrew's recharged back to 3. So I think Wesley only has 1 more death until he has to completely restart.
I wonder what temper is then. I don't even know what temper is.
Alright, so Andrew's still going through this Aztec temple.
Poor guy. Although he's close to Goofy again, which is a checkpoint. He's got tons of lives, so he should get through it. But Wes definitely has a lead here, for sure. Even if he games over, he's going to start at that checkpoint. He should start
further, yeah.
Although, after this sort of city section, there's a ziplining section, which is actually really, really fun. But I don't think there's a checkpoint there, so if he does die, he'll start all the way back at this city part again. Although I think he's going to die before he gets there anyway.
Alright, so we're referencing the internet for a little bit, good old Wikipedia. And I'm taking a look at what the heck temper is in this game. So the only place I saw it in both these gentlemen's playthroughs was, I think it was in the Aztec temple, there were these chili peppers.
Okay.
And chili peppers will increase his temper and eventually temporarily allowing him to become invincible, increase his speed, and knock out enemies in his path. So I'm not sure if that's a mechanic either of the players will find out, but it is a mechanic we can tell them about afterwards. Wesley has gamed over, so let's see how he does with a fresh start. But as you said, he probably will have the checkpoint that's further than Andrew is. So, yep. So he's starting the city. He still has his red plunger upgrade.
And he actually died right at the beginning of the zipline section. So he already knows how to do this first part. So he should not die too many times here. I really like the ziplining section. It's probably my most favorite part in the whole speed run. It's basically just, he's kind of moving on these ziplines. You just have to jump at the right time, but it's fun.
I want to know the person who decided to bring that up while they were storyboard writing the plot for this game. They're like, all right, we got him throwing plungers. We got him going through an Aztec temple. Like, what else can we have Donald Duck do? Frickin' ziplining. Ziplining. Who would not love that?
They're like, well, we have a city level. What are we going to put in it? And someone's like, well, what's in cities? Well, clearly, like lights and lampposts. And so we're going to make a whole level based around that.
Perfect.
And Wes is already back there, so he's moving.
Yeah, so I'm eager to see what the ziplining looks like in action.
And Andrew actually died in the Aztec temple. He's still got the golden plunger, so he's really struggling on this level. But yeah, let's check out the ziplining. This is amazing. He's got to jump when he sees another one. Oh, he made it though. And he knows the mechanics now. Jump whenever you see one.
Yeah, I think at that particular instance, he used a damage boost, so he used the temporary invincibility of being hurt to kind of maneuver it so he wouldn't fall all the way through.
Oh, missed it.
Ah.
It is kind of fun the way the lines are placed. You have to go backwards in this level again, like the Aztec Temple, but it's a different series of lines that you do, so it's a different path. It's really cool.
Oh, I like that. I'm not too much of a fan of going exactly backwards. Like the Aztec Temple that Andrew's on, which I'm sure is very frustrating and infuriating to him right now. For me, when I complete a level in the game, it's kind of close the book, end the chapter, moving on. If I realize I have to revisit it, especially with something that I kind of struggle to get through, I don't know if I'd be okay with that.
So Wes actually just met, I guess, Donald Duck's dad. I don't know.
It looks like a more elderly, wiser version of.
But he got a bubblegum gun that's gonna let him break the wall in Dracula's castle and beat this game. He's really close here.
At this point, why not with a bubblegum gun, really? Though I have to question the effectiveness of a bubblegum gun versus a plunger.
Yeah, it's weird, and the players won't get there. But in Dracula's level, you use that gun to defeat ghosts, and I don't know the logic behind that, but I'm sure there's somewhere.
Ghosts must hate going through city streets then with all that gum on the sidewalks.
Oh yeah, that's why they're not here.
There's a nice blimp with Mickey's face on it on Wesley's screen. Now out of the screen.
And so Wes is, as soon as he gets back to the checkpoint, calls the airplane. He's basically done. He's gonna go right back to the checkpoint in level 3, and that's right where the door is. So.
Do you think he'll easily make the connection that the bubblegum gun is strong enough to defeat a wall?
I think so. Although he might have trouble figuring out how to use it, which is understandable.
Alright, so Andrew has the upgraded plunger and he's progressing back through the backwards of the stage, hopefully all the way to the finish.
Mm-hmm. I feel kind of bad he's not gonna experience the ziplining section, which is I think by far the best part.
Wesley has entered Dracula's castle. Let's see if he can figure out how to use the gun.
He's equipped it. Can he do it?
Oh goodness.
It's not destroyed yet.
Keep blowing those bubbles.
Use
the power of the bubbles.
Won.
He slides to victory, quite literally.
Who else do I need to contact? Alright, congrats to all of our players. Thank you, Chan, so much for helping me out.
No problem. I enjoyed casting with you on this hypothetical pretend casting couch.
Hey, it's real.
It's great. I love the pink zebra stripes on this. I also enjoy the coasters that you provided on the side of the couch arms. Very, very homey.
Thank you. I've worked hard. But yeah, congratulations again to Wes and both of our players. This has been, what is this called? Quack Time?
Quack Shot.
Quack Shot.
Yes. Featuring the one and only Donald Duck.
So thank you for watching. Stay frisky. See you next time.
Bye-bye.